Wonder what's up with that. Oh, we're live. Hello. You're here. We're doing. I'm joined by Victor Daviet, and this is Sessions with the Sarge. And very, very grateful Victor carved out some time in his day. I kind of start off all these with a real quick kind of basic question, but how have you been affected by quarantine, and what's the current status where you live and where do you live?
So I live in Nancy, in the Alps in France. So we've been in quarantine for the last 2 months, and since a week now it's the end of the lockdown. It's still really strict, but we can go out, we can go to the mountains. People can surf for 4 days now, but I live in the mountains, so on my side I can go speedboarding and can access to the mountain. I can go to the lake because there is a beautiful lake here. So I learned how to foil. That's the new thing here. Foiling.
Cool. Does it the one with the little propeller on the bottom too?
No. It's the one that you just throw from a deck, like Chris Rassman.
Yeah.
You throw it, and then you jump on it, and then you pump, and you generate some speed, and it's tough, but it's fun.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's a really good workout too, and good core workout.
Insane workout. So I was in shape for the speedboard season 2 because it's kind of like a new season now after a 2 months break. So yeah, no, it's been okay around here. We weren't that affected, and I moved to my mother-in-law, and she has a nice land, so it was okay. And I've been working a lot on the next project, so time it's been fast.
Yeah, it goes by. You have plenty to put your mind to when you just like
exactly,
yeah. How have the tours been? What's the mountains like? Is there still a lot of snow, or is it just kind of like mellow?
That's the good thing here in the Alps. During the lockdown, it has been super, super, super warm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was summer in March, April.
Yeah.
Which is super weird. So for the selfish snowboarders as we are, it was the perfect weather for a lockdown because the conditions were terrible. In the mountain, it was like just sunny and slushy every day. It could have been fun, to ride a slushy park, but at least it wasn't like 2 feet of fresh snow every week,
Yeah.
Super tough to not be allowed to access to the mountain with that much powder like right in front of us. So it was, in a way, we've been really lucky on that. But yeah.
So how does it feel when?
Now the conditions are so because it has been really warm before. It just snowed a little bit, like really high, like above 9,000 feet.
Oh, whoa.
But so now it's more alpinism than mellow speedboarding missions,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm gonna join some guys in Chamonix and more in south where it's intense mountaineering. I would say that just fun little speedboard mission.
Yeah, will that be like kind of some mountaineering and like stuff like that where you'll be cruising around with like crampons and ice axe style, or?
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never been really into it, but all the riders from my generation, like Thomas Delfino or Victor Daviet, now they're really into it. So I'm step by step getting into it with them.
Yeah, you don't want to jump all in and just be like, oh, I got this. It's nice to learn it slow.
Really switch. I really love freestyle snowboarding, so I'm staying in it. But my friend just went like from freestyle snowboarding to hardcore free riding, and I'm like, oh, chill out, boys. We're still young. We can still jump,
I know. I have a lot of friends that are similar where there's this transition, and it's like I still always have like the freestyle like mentality, like where if I feel like avalanche conditions are dangerous, I just like to go like build a jump, and wait it out, wait for the snow to settle and whatnot.
So I would like to go and build a quarter pipe or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My friends are not really into it. They don't want to shape anymore. They just want to climb mine.
Totally. It's funny how that works. What do you want to kind of tell the viewers about what's it been like working on the Pirates project with Gigi?
Yeah, so Pirates project for the last 2 years, or the past 2 seasons, I've been shooting for the Pirates for their new movie called Driven. That was supposed to be released that fall, but it would be released next fall, so 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 3 years project. So on the past 2 seasons, I did 2 trips with them, one in Japan, one in Canada, and both of my teammates were Gigi, Ruff, and John Jackson. So 2 of my really big inspiration when I was a kid. So it was impressive, but a real honor to be like, okay, I've been looking those guys forever, and now I'm just hanging with them, riding with them, pushing each other like with my heroes. So it was crazy, and now they're good friends. So it's been just unreal and good times only.
Nice. Sounds like a dream come true. So I was watching some of the behind the scenes of Driven.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a pretty high level like production. Does it mean that when you're out there sometimes there's a lot of standing around or waiting to like get the camera set up, or like I just watched some of the zip lines and like camera moves and stuff, and
they're doing things big, like production wise. They're like 3 red cameras, so sometimes cable cam, drones. So sometimes it takes some time to just set up everything. Sometimes conditions are perfect and you're waiting quite a lot for your spot, your turn, because it's one rider after another, and sometimes it's quite like long compared to other productions, but then the result is sick usually, so it's worth it.
Do you think that will Driven be a part-based video, or will it be a trip-based video based on the different locations that you go to?
It will be a trip-based video.
Cool.
For sure. Yeah, they want to do a kind of like a storytelling around those amazing adventures, because it has been crazy. Like,
yeah,
it was amazing. We had so much powder. We stayed there for months, riding powder every day, 1 meter, hiking in 1 meter of powder every day. At the end, we're so fit.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and this season we went to Canada, and there was so much snow once again, and it was good.
And you guys were in like Revelstoke and like Pemberton, right?
Yeah, Pemberton first, and then Revelstoke, and I love Revelstoke. I really love that place. People are so nice, and the terrain is amazing, and it was snowing a lot.
Yeah, there's so much terrain to go, like so many different zones in such a tight little area.
Yeah, and I'm improving on a sled, so that makes also a big difference.
Totally.
Step by step,
you're not breaking trail for John?
Not yet. Sometimes. I can do it.
Nice.
No, I'm not getting stuck as much as usually as before. So it makes the things easier too.
Well, it's because like, what I spent most of my time filming with sleds too, and it's like if you expend 50 to 60% of your energy on the snowmobile, then you only have 40% of your energy to give to snowboarding. So like I get it.
When I started snowboarding, it was like 90% on the sled, 10% on a snowboard. I was like, damn, I can't snowboard anymore. I'm like so exhausted.
Yeah.
I got stuck 20 times before shaping that jump. I can't do anything anymore.
Exactly. That's funny.
And in the end, with Gigi, we always end up doing it alpine style. Like, we access to the line, and then we're like, do we try to go at the top of the line with the sled, or should we just hike it? Hike it.
Yeah.
Because we know we're gonna get stuck.
Yeah, I know. I like to do, I think it's good for the body too, to do the hiking and to like get the energy and to like let your body kind of get ready for it, rather than just like all of a sudden you're just at the top of the line with your board,
We thought about it with Gigi. It's sometimes, for some big lines or big spots, you need to kind of like meditate on what you're gonna do, and when you hike with the sled, like when you go up with the sled, it goes fast, so you don't have the time to like spend time on what you're gonna do in like 5 minutes, because it's just so fast that we had the feeling that we weren't as productive when we were going up with the sled.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It was a fun thought, like.
So I'm gonna want to shift gears into another question about what's going on with the safety shred days that you put together. I think that's really cool, and I think I'd like the viewers to know a little bit about like giving back with that.
So safety shred days, I started that event 3 years ago, but why I created that event is that I got into some pretty bad avalanche situation. I got into some avalanches. I rescued some people. I lost some friends. Some people got really badly injured in avalanches. And at some point, I was like, I have to bring something for our community, and it is this. We need to have a avalanche safety class for young people, because now it exists in the Alps, avalanches class.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more for ski tours that are quite old, and it's quite expensive. So what I wanted to do is like a cool avalanche class, but super professional and cheap, so even the young people can practice.
Really cool.
So we did 3 editions in France. So like I've been doing this for 3 years, and the past season we had 1 in Switzerland. So the project is really growing. Now it's the biggest free ride gathering in France.
Really cool.
From that idea, I started small. I just went to the resort I know well, Arèche before, and in November, so I was super late to organize an event, but that was really a hard project. Like I really wanted to do it because I was thinking about like, okay, an accident is gonna happen to a close friend or some more people in our community, and I don't want that. I want to bring that kind of like educative and social need,
Yeah, and I saw that you also opened it up to like the young kids too, just to kind of inspire them.
So there is so it's on 4 days. There is a retailer day, a kid day. So some kids from 6 to 16 are training. So it's a special day for the kids. It's free for the kids, and they have so they even can ride with the pros during the day. And then on the Saturday, there is the avalanche training day for everybody with different levels. Then at the end of the day, we have a party. And then on the last day, we have a bank slalom, a best trick, and a crazy Chinese downhill. And
Sweet.
some burgers on the slopes.
Oh, that's really cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So it takes some time, to organize everything, because I'm by myself trying to put everything together. But every time I'm exhausted when I'm like right before the event, but when I leave during the moment, I'm like just so hyped to, I see all the people smiling and all my friends training. So I'm really hyped. Last year we trained more than 200,000 people, 250 people.
Awesome.
So it's getting big, and it's a lot of people on snow, to deal with. It's kind of getting crazy now.
And it's always like, I think with that kind of stuff, it's all about the repetition and the people that you do it with that you're going to be going out in the mountains with and sharing that experience, that little educational moment each year.
The goal is to really bring the best mountain people. We have the best guides. We have the best engineers, and everybody comes there and share their experience, and people who don't have much experience learn from the best.
Awesome. That's really cool. I think that's so great that you do that.
And also, it's a free ride gathering, so everybody is sharing the same vibe, and it's the beginning of the season, and everybody is so hyped to see each other, and even like people can meet the pros there, and it's like I had some people coming like, oh, I didn't know you were like that. I thought it was, you guys weren't cool. We're just pros. Like, we're all partying together. We're riding together. We're training together. It's it's cool, man.
Yeah, it's really cool to create that transparency and be open, like to connect. It's like people connectivity is so important.
Yeah, exactly. So it has been a really good experience until now, and I can't wait for the next edition.
Yeah, I hope it just continues to grow and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and and more people get trained and more people get prepared and ready. Because for me, every year I try to do a little course, no matter what, and I like to do it especially with the people that I'm gonna spend time with in the mountains that year, so that we're all thinking about it, and like it's all about brushing up on it, you know.
Yeah, and for the viewers, it's important to do it every year. It's not like 5 years ago I did an avalanche. It's like every year you need to train yourself. You need to be ready in case of an avalanche happen. Because I don't know if you lived experience an avalanche, but on my side it's so intense, emotionally intense, that you need to be really ready and have the good reflex to save your friend
I know no one else is going to be able to do it, so it's all about the people that you're out there with, and you're only as strong as your weakest link, really, you know. So it's important to have everybody on the same page.
And all my sponsors, including 6x6, have been really supportive, and you know, I feel like the vibe is everybody is going the same way, and it's really a good time. So I'm really thankful.
Awesome. How do you? One question I was kind of curious. How do you make your is it Genevieve?
Genevieve.
Yeah, I want to know is it something that you can't really disclose how you make it, or is it something that how do you create that?
So it's a typical alcohol from the Alps.
Mm-hmm.
Genevieve. It's some flowers. Can you see?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that plant, you can find those plants at in feet. It's like 2,500 meters, so it's quite high.
So 8,000 feet.
Yeah, exactly, 8,000 feet
and above.
In some cliffs, so it's kind of like sketchy to access to the spot, and it's like the mushrooms, you know. Some family have their spots and they don't share it, so it's kind of like it's fun, you know. You have to find some spots where there is some, and then you climb to some cliffs. So
man, that sounds really cool. You really got to go harvest it.
Yeah, so it's the right period is end of July, so you go pick up your flowers, and for 1 liter you need 40 flowers, 40 plants, 40 sugar, and then you put it in some alcohol. You wait for 40 days, so it's 40, 40, 40.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite simple. And my mother pick up a bottle every year, so she has a good deal with some different bottles. So I change every year, and then I make it with my grandfather. So we do it together.
Really
and
cool.
Then every year, a different artist, a friend, make a sticker. So this one is from Neil Shack, the snowboarder.
Oh, cool.
And this year I finished it, but this year Luca Beaufort did it. So I did 3 editions now, and it's only for friends. It's not for sale. And it's just like a trip, and it has been a good trip.
You ever gonna hit the farmer's market and sell a few of your bottles, or you want to just keep it as gifts only?
I don't want to. You know, it's a plant that it's quite rare, and I don't want to do it like industrial. It's just for friend. I don't want to steal the mountain, I would say. So
every flower that goes into it, is it all personally collected by you? Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, now I have my spots, and every year I enjoy so much. You know, I go there for 2-3 days. I collect my plants, and then I go to my grandparents' place. We do it together. He's 88 years old, and it's a good family.
That's a special bonding experience to share with your grandfather.
So yeah, it has been a fun project that we pushed quite far because like everybody's like, is it for sale? Oh no, it's just fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one other question I have, so with the rest of the summer kind of just starting and coming up, I know in the past I've followed you and you go on, you like to travel and stuff. Is there anything that you're planning or you're thinking about doing, like any surf adventures or anything? Or I mean, we have to be responsible about the ways that we go around right now and whatnot. But is there anything that you have planned that you're looking forward to?
So now we can go further than 100 kilometers from our home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm limited to the mountains. So I'm not even sure if I will be able to go surf.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal is to Annecy area, so the Alps, north of the Alps, of the French Alps is really nice. We have a lake, a big, nice lake. We have the mountains around. My goal was for this spring, after the Corona situation, was to split board as much as possible until the conditions are really bad. So I have different shooting for my neck warmer company. I want to shoot a trip roulette episode, my web series. I want to quite improve my mountaineering skills too with my friends. So split boarding, mountaineering, go down riding. Then I was supposed to pass my final exams at school because last year was supposed to be my last year, but I missed one. So I was supposed to pass it again. But thanks to the COVID situation, the exam won't happen, and they just took the marks, the final, like the last marks I had, and so they kind of like gave it to me. So it's a good one for that.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna start paragliding.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because I used to skydive, but I don't want to take because my parents are skydivers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up on skydive centers, and now I want to paraglide because here it's super popular to paraglide, and Annecy is the spot for that. So I want to try. So I'm gonna get into paragliding.
Nice. Sick.
Yeah, we're gonna go river surfing too. I'm part of an association called Surfer de Douce. So I don't know how to say that, like surfer from not salty water.
Oh, like freshwater surfing.
Yeah. That's the name of the crew. So with that crew, we're gonna go river surfing in the area.
Cool.
And then I can't wait to go camping because being in lockdown for the last 2 months, you really learn like, okay, what's missing? Freedom and nature. So I really want to go camping, and even if the snow is bad, just ride as much as possible. I realized that like I was missing snowboarding so much. Both days I went speedboarding, it was rainy. At the beginning it was rainy, then it cleared up, but rainy, foggy, but I was like, I don't care. I just want to go to the mountain and split board, and that was my main focus.
Yeah, that's like I felt the same way. This last Friday, they've started to open some of the restrictions around here, so we're able to like get out a little bit. I went up and practiced like all social distancing, drove up alone, and I was cutting blocks and building a hip, like building a jump, and I was so grateful just to be like placing the blocks and to be like snowshoeing my jump and to like be manicuring the snow. And I was like thinking, man, like those things you take for granted, like just the like even the hard work that you put in, and then like not only to fly off of it, but like just all the process of it all, and the hike out and being out there and like listening and being in the sun, and then to have a session, like those are the simple things like I think we had grown to take advantage or take for granted, and now like we have an opportunity to be like more appreciative about the whole process.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be a different summer, probably less travel and enjoy more our area, and that's cool too. I would probably go to riding in Les Deux Alpes too.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good park on the glacier. Usually, the past season I was going there only to test some boards for Salomon for a few days, but maybe I will go there for at least 10 days. My mother lives next to that area.
Oh, cool.
So we'll probably go there for a bit.
I had just a quick question. Like, who were your early influences in snowboarding? Like, do you have like people that like kind of got you into it, or was it like you?
Now I live in the north of the French Alps, so Annecy, but I grew up in the south.
Mm-hmm.
And in the south, maybe you know him. He used to shoot for TB7. We're going back to standard TB7, Guillaume Chastagnol.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely know him from the standard moves. He would have the crazy half pipe tricks.
Exactly. So that guy was the hero in my area. So that's the first guy I really kind of followed. And then it went straight to the video like pop.
Yeah.
With Romain, Travis, Gigi.
Yeah.
And then the pro movies with John, Jake Lovell, and those guys were definitely like the guys I was watching. And then from my generation, Mikkel Bang, I was into. And
that's really cool that it was Guillaume Chastak. Like he's snowboarding like really resonated with me too for some reason. I just saw those couple of parts in the standard films, but he would mix his half pipe and his transition riding, and then was super technical on jumps too. And like, he was dope. So
I was sure you would know him, because now for the new generation, who was the first rider you were watching? And when I say Guillaume Chastagnol to the new generation, they're like, who?
Totally.
And now he totally switched. He's not into snowboarding anymore. He's into kite snowboarding. And then he got 7 or maybe 8 times world champion.
Whoa, crazy. So whatever he puts his mind to, he achieves.
Yeah, and I really would like to do a snowboard trip with him pretty soon.
That'd be amazing. I think it's so cool to give back to people that had their time in it, and like, as it's our job, like in the snowboard industry, to always reach out and to reconnect with the people that laid the foundation. I think that's essential.
Yeah, totally. So I'm probably gonna do a trip roulette where we go snowboarding together, and then he teach me how to kite snowboarding. That would be for me, it would be like a crazy, amazing time. Just to spend time with my first hero.
Yeah, that's amazing. Cool. Well, do you have any questions for me? That pretty much wraps up all my my talking points.
Yeah. So how was it in the US? Can you go out? So you said you were riding a bunch recently, sledding.
Yeah, I think that right now it's still early. They are lifting some of the restrictions, and some of the types of like workers are able to get back to work. Construction workers, and they're slowly opening things up. I still think like hair salons and some of those things are slow to open. Grocery stores, it's like you got to wear your mask, and they have arrows and they kind of direct us a little bit. But like, I think that getting out and doing things like in nature is starting to be a little bit more acceptable. I still think social distancing, you don't want to like pile in the car with your buddies and like go up, but if you want to meet people and do it like socially responsibly, I think like some of those, and it also depends on where in America you live. Certain areas have been less affected. Seattle and like Washington, where I live, was one of the first places to like really start to have the issues. And so now like my wife works in healthcare, so she works at the hospital in Seattle. So, they talk about the graph and flattening the curve. I'm sure like you're familiar with that concept. So now it's like we've had it start, we've had it spike up, and we've had it come back down, and now we're seeing like this like slow, gradual like down.
Yeah.
So she's like, she's down working, and the cases are down in the single digits for like the Seattle area and like in the hospital that she's working. So it definitely feels like it's under control, but it's also our job to maintain and be smart so that we don't have any spikes or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think now, so it reopened last week, and now I think we have a new small spike here.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're afraid of.
It's really touristic, and if you look in the street, there are so many people not even wearing masks in groups, waiting for ice creams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people are not taking it really seriously right now, so it's for sure we're gonna have a new peak in it.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of my whole thing is I can remain. I've been just working on my garden and doing house projects and just being as responsible as possible. Take a day or two to get in the mountains if it worked out, and like just
Princess.
What's that?
I love your little princess.
Yeah, she's and then hanging with her all the time. I mean,
she is amazing.
Yeah, she makes it all like she makes it a lot easier to have a little friend like that to spend all the time with. So
I love your stories with your princess. She's so amazing.
Yeah.
And just to come back on the snowboarding, you had a lot of snow this winter, so now I guess there's still a lot of snow, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we had a really bad start to our season. Like it didn't snow like until late December, basically.
Yeah.
So I went to Mammoth Lakes and got a session in there, which was perfect. And then I came back, and then we had a really good season this year. And I got to spend a ton of time. Like we made a ski movie with Parker White this year.
Yeah.
And then we also made a movie with Forrest Bailey this year. And the two of them spent a ton of time up around Mount Baker, and we got to film together for both of their projects. So that was like really cool, like just to be able to spend some quality time with the team. And we sort of had a 686 team house going where we had a lot of riders come through, and we shot a lot. And so it was a great season. It was abrupt. It ended abruptly. It would have been nice to do all March. We still have like 8 to 10 feet of snow up there. So there's a long touring. But as when the sun cups start to come, like it's harder on the body. So you got to find those quarter pipes or hips or whatever. But
yeah.
Still holding up there. So we'll make sure I'm gonna make sure to go and grind and get a few more little clips,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, man. I really want to go for some more.
Well, thank you so much for joining Sessions with the Sarge. This is one of my favorite episodes, and it's an honor to have you on 686, and I can't wait to see the project driven with Gigi, and I love the trip roulettes, and thanks for giving back to your snowboard community with the Safety Shred Days, man. Much respect and pumped to communicate.
Man. Thanks for doing this, and I can't wait to see you. Hope we're gonna be able to travel and see each other soon.
Yes.
For this 686 trip, it would be a fun.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
All righty.
Bye, everyone.